Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about chapter of class 12, that is general principles and process involved in isolation of metals. So in this chapter we have already discussed in two videos that how to extract a metal from your crude ore. So there are certain ores for metals which I discussed in the first video, and in the second video we have discussed about how to concentrate a metal ore concentration. Okay, so now in this topic we are going to discuss about how to extract a metal. Okay, that is about extraction of crude metal from its concentrated ore. So now the next topic is extraction of crude metal by the concentrated ore. So in general, our concentrated ore contains several ores or gauge particles present in it. Like for example, we have a sulfide ore which has sulfur in it, and certain components of ores has carbon monoxide or carbonate oxides. So if there are some oxides or sulfides present in given metal ore, there will be traces of amount once they are concentrated into stronger concentration. So in order to remove those slight impurities, what we do is we carry out two methods of concentrating or extracting a metal from its ore. Conversion of our crude metal into its respective oxide. Conversion to its oxide. Converting our metal ore into its respective oxide. And in the second condition, what we do is we later reduce the given oxide to its proper metal. That is reduction of oxide to metal. So we carry out these two steps in order to extract crude metal from our concentrated ore. So that is, first one is the conversion of crude metal concentrated ore to its respective oxide, and the second one is reduction of that oxide to its respective metal. So the conversion of oxides involves two steps. Conversion of oxides can be done in two methods. The first one is calcination. And the second one is roasting. Second one is roasting. First one is calcination and the second process is roasting. We can either use calcination process or a roasting process. What we have to do is, first we need to convert the non-oxides of a metal ore to its respective oxides. If there are certain oxides already present in a given ore, like for example of our FeCO3 or Fe2O3 components, they have water molecule present in them. So if FeCO3 or Fe2O3.H2O, these components have water molecule and carbon dioxide present in them, which can be removed by just heating. So what is this calcination process does is, we heat the given metal concentrated ore. We heat the concentrated metal ore in order to remove all the volatile components. If there are certain volatile impurities present in a given concentrated metal ore, we heat it to a certain temperature in the absence of air such that the volatile components of the impurities get removed. Okay, like for example, if you treat Fe2O3 or if you heat Fe2O3.H2O, we take off the water molecule present in them. But because Fe2O3 has hydrous component, that is H2O molecules in them, once they are heated to a high temperature, water molecule gets volatile and gets evaporated, leaving behind our Fe2O3. Okay, so this is how we convert the components which are already having oxygen in them. So calcination process of extraction or calcination process of converting to oxides is used for those components which have some volatile impurities present in them. So calcination process is defined as the process of converting a concentrated metal ore to its respective oxides if that concentrated metal ore has some volatile impurities. So this concentration or this conversion of metal ore to its oxide is done in the absence of air. One more example what we can take is, if you consider calcium carbonate with magnesium carbonate component. So what can we do here is, if we heat it for a high temperature, the carbon dioxide components present in both these two, calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate, gets evaporated, leaving behind our calcium oxide and magnesium oxide. So these are the process where we convert our concentrated metal ore to its respective oxide by heating in the absence of air. So this process is called our calcination. In case of roasting, we have several examples for that roasting. Roasting is specifically used for those components which have sulfide ores present in them. So if there are some sulfide ore components, say for example zinc, copper and metal of iron also, those components of metal ores can be converted to its respective oxide using the process of roasting. So in this roasting process, what we do is we heat up the given component of metal ore. We heat the given concentrated metal ore in the presence of air such that we remove all its sulfur components. Like for example, if you consider zinc sulfide, on heating zinc sulfide with oxygen in the presence of oxygen at a certain temperature, we get respective zinc oxide along with SO2. Similarly, we can remove sulfur present in lead also. When lead sulfide is treated with oxygen, we get PbO along with SO2. And one more example, you can take it as Cu2S on heating with oxygen at a high temperature, we get Cu2O along with SO2. One thing we have to note over here is we are releasing more amount of sulfur dioxide from each of the reaction, which is very dangerous for inhaling. These SO2s are collected separately in order to convert or prepare them as sulfuric acid. So in order to prepare sulfuric acid, we use the evaporated or liberated SO2 gases. Okay, so this is how we convert a component with concentrated metal ore which has sulfide impurities present in them. Next we have to know in case of roasting is, we have a metal ore of copper which is forming CuFeS2, which has a composition of CuFeS2. This copper pyrite CuFeS2 has component as Cu2S and Fes. So out of the copper sulfide and iron sulfide, we just have to convert the copper sulfide as oxide but not the iron sulfide. Therefore what we do is we need to extract this iron sulfide out of our copper pyrite compound ore. Therefore what we do is the impurity Fes, which is also called as Ganch particles, are mixed with slags flux such as SiO2. We mix Fes with fluxes such as SiO2, so that is silicate. When we mix Fes with SiO2, we get FeSiO3. We get FeSiO3. The resultant FeSiO3 is called the slag of impurity. That is, the impurity Ganch particles are mixed with flux components such as silicates and further converted in the ferrous sulfide to ferrous silicate. This leading us the slag particles which are separated by from our normal physical methods, such that we clearly take away our copper sulfide, which is then treated with oxygen to form cupric oxides. Okay, so these are the methods for conversion of a concentrated metal ore to its respective oxides. Once this is done, we have certain metal oxides, and those have to be now converted to oxides with respective metals. Now the second step comes into play, that is reduction of our metal oxide to its respective metal. So reduction of a metal oxide to respective metal is done by either using carbon or using carbon monoxide or by using any other different metal itself. So the conversion of oxide to its respective metal can be done by different reagents, such as we can use pure carbon or coke, we can also use carbon monoxide, and we can also use any other metals. So what we do in this reaction is we take our metal oxide, let us say MxOY. We take our metal oxides, I am writing just a general formula. Mx of OY is treated with carbon atom. This is treated with Y times of carbon atom. So that gives us our pure metal X dot M, X times our metal and Y times our carbon monoxide. So carbon and oxides react with one another to form carbon monoxide. This is how we reduce a metal oxide to its respective metal. Okay, so this is how we reduce a metal oxide to its respective metal. Like for example, you can take calcium oxide. So calcium oxide when treated with carbon, it forms calcium and carbon monoxide. Okay, so the second step of reduction of a metal oxide to its metals involving treating a metal oxide with respective carbon, carbon monoxide or any other different metal which has a reducing agent property. So those are called as a reduction of our metal oxide to its respective metal. As I said just now, we can use any other metal, right? So you can use any other metal which has a reducing agent property. As I said just now, we can use any of the metal which can be used for reduction of metal oxide to its respective metal which has a reducing agent property. So those metals can be found with the specific properties and that defined by the Ellingham diagram. So if we have to use certain type of metal in order to reduce another metal, we use Ellingham diagram. So this we will study in the next class. So this is all about the extraction of crude metal from its concentrated metal ore. So this is how we reduce or convert our crude metal, get our crude metal from our concentrated metal ore. So that is involving two steps. One is conversion of metal oxide, conversion of our metal to its metal oxide. Second one is reduction of our metal oxides to its respective metal. So that is done by, further this conversion is done by two processes. One is calcination and the another one is roasting. In calcination, what we do is we heat the given metal, concentrated metal ore with absence of oxygen to a high temperature such that all the volatile impurities get evaporated. And in the case of roasting, what we do is we heat the given metal sulfide ores or metal carbonate ores in the presence of oxygen, metal sulfide ores especially, not carbonate, metal sulfide ores in the presence of oxygen such that we are converted to respective metal oxides. Once they are converted to respective metal oxides, we then reduce those metal oxides to its pure form of metal. For example, that is, we use a metal oxide treating them with carbon, carbon monoxide or any other metal which has a reducing property, which leads us to get our metal component along with carbon monoxide. So this is how we do it. And for the furthermore of using a particular type of metal in order to reduce another metal from its oxide, we need to use a type of diagram called Ellingham diagram, which we are going to study in our next video. So if you understand this video lecture, please do subscribe to my channel and like, comment down below if you have any doubts, and you can also put me your doubts in our mail which I have given in the description box. Thank you for watching.